Hi to everyone, I am Viviano Pascucci and I have a second level degree in History and Society from Università degli Studi Roma 3. In this work I am going to show you an experiment made using a video game. The main objective in this work is to prove that empathy and emotions can play a support role in teaching. So let's start. The selected game from the experiment is Bury Me, My Love. The game is set in 2014 and the gamer followed the situation of a young woman called Noor. This game was made consulting real documented experience of refugees. Noor is a refugee from Syria and she's fleeing from her country because of the civil war. And she must reach Europe in order to ask for asylum in European Union. The game is a visual novel and is structured like a messaging application. The player has to read the conversation written in the interface and choose one of the possible sentences to influence the Noor's travel and consequently the plot of the game. The player assumes the role of Mahid, the Noor husband. He has to suggest possible routes, but in several situations he must also comfort his wife in order to keep Noor focused on her mission. The personal data of the sample used in an experiment was gathered before the game experience with a survey. The questions come in 5 different categories. The first, personal information, in order to filter gender, range of age, and level of scolarization. The second, personal experience with the video game medium, to measure the general interest using the medium. The third, the opinion about video game bias, to confirm or deny if the participants have sort of prejudice about video games. 4. Perception of video game medium, to check if the participant is aware of the potential of video games. 5. Opinion about game-based learning, in order to understand if the participants agree with the hypothesis of their work, even before the game experience. To analyze the individual game experience, another survey was administered after the game experience, in order to measure the emotional involvement during the gaming session. The first category of questions is the opinion regarding the game, analyzing the effectiveness of Bury Me, My Love. The second category was intended to categorize the emotions experienced and which ones helped to understanding deeper the game themes. The third category is similar to the second but more focused on historical notions learned during gameplay. The fourth category was intended to show the examiner if the opinion about game-based learning changed during the game experience. The sample was also allowed to add personal conclusions about topics not approached directly in the other questions. A 28-person sample of convenience participated in the experiment. The length of the playthrough varied between 2 and 3 hours. In several cases, the participant needed to split the gameplay in 2 different sessions, mainly because of the emotional involvement with the game itself. The examiner streams the game using a private server on the Discord application to allow the players to choose between the possible answers in real time in order to play. Several participants experienced anxiety during the gameplay, and this emotion helped them in being more cautious and receptive and make them supportive with the protagonist. The affection to Noor caused them to effectively care about their health and safety. Some of the participants were partially unaware of the routes used by migrants, and the game effectively helped them learn about it. According to the survey, the sample considered the user interface effective and relatable. Nowadays, using a messaging application is extremely familiar for us, and reading the conversation of the two protagonists amplifies an emotional connection with them. For instance, in certain cases, the participants ask to use internet during the game session in order to suggest more safe routes and other ways to actively help the protagonist of the game. In the sample, the opinion about video games as a support for teaching was predominantly positive, and this generally confirmed Actor's experiment. The experiment was successful. The sample confirmed that leaving a different point of view made focus on determined context selected by the teacher. Emotional involvement triggered a real interest in the social historical theme proposed in the game. Virtually living a Syrian refugee show a new perspective in the social theme during the gameplay. I hope the presentation was interesting and not boring. Thanks for watching.